There we go.
I'm like riding on Mute City right now. I'm like, this is awesome.
Mute City. Oh man, bring back memories, dude. To load up the Super Nintendo emulator later, or my actual Super Nintendo. All right. Anyway, on the upper right part of Antigua Shipyards, we have our Red Zerg player from the team Prime He is currently 0-1 in this group. It is BBoongBBoong Prime. And in the lower left in the blue from the team FXO, up 1-0 so far today, looking very strong. It is FXO Oz.
Did you ever watch the F-Zero anime?
I didn't even know there was an F-Zero anime.
No, there was. I never watched it. I was just kind of wondering. Someone should tweet at us about that. You can tweet at ProxyWolf or at GhostUdilla about that. If anyone watched the F-Zero anime and thought it was awesome.
Oh! Why would you do that, Oz?
Well, you know, he wasn't really sure if it blocked his wall off or not.
Better than a Scantipede.
Yeah, better than a Scantipede. Well, Scantipedes can't live in this climate.
Well, that's the thing, is that automatons, you know, they're robots. They don't really have sentience. They don't have souls. So go ahead, you know. But Scantipedes, man, you gotta preserve the Scantipede.
Well, you know, we have we live. Well, you actually recently moved out of the GOM house, but our Korean caster Gisato, he actually would systematically go and kill the Lyotes on backwater goal.
It's horrible.
And I called him out on a few times why you do that. He just shrugged. He's actually done so many wrong things, man.
He's like, I'm just a heartless killer. Why not?
Can't believe he killed those Lyotes, man. Lyotes never did anything to anyone, man. They like cry when they die too. I'm like, Gisato, stop it.
He doesn't care. Look out, Automaton, your friend died. All right. So,
yeah, just a little bit of Zergling pressure. You always make the 4 Zerglings. It's our common little Zerg opening. It's a common rule to follow if you're a Zerg player. Make no more than 4, no fewer than 4.
Yep, you can go up to like 6 sometimes.
You can make 6 sometimes, but it's not necessary.
8 is right out.
Yeah, 8 is right out.
Yep,
absolutely. Do not make 8. If you make 8, you've made 8 Zerglings.
After 3,
that's what you've done.
Directly to 4. 5 is right out. It's impossible. You get 2 Zerglings per egg.
All Zerglings are twins, man.
That's right.
Something that a lot of people haven't considered.
Identical or fraternal?
Fraternal.
I don't know.
I think.
Never
are there
asked.
male or female Zerglings?
I don't know. It's a good question, man.
And these questions need answers. All Zerglings
questions
look the same.
that need answering.
What are there female zealots?
Probably.
I've never seen one. There's female Dark Templar.
There's female Protoss we know from the single player.
Yeah.
Oh, Stargate Tech again from Oz. All right.
Yeah, he actually likes to do this nowadays, by the looks of it.
I guess so.
This is not a type of play that we normally see from him. Like I was saying earlier, it's just a little bit unusual. And we're going to see how it clashes with BBoongBBoong style versus Koga's.
Clash of the Titans. Titans will clash. Isn't that like the least imaginative movie motto of all time? It's just called Clash of the Titans, and your motto is Titans will clash. Well, BBoongBBoong losing an Overlord there, it's at the point in the game where it's still something you don't really want to
Yeah, I mean, he's supply block now.
Yeah.
He's going to make an extra Overlord. And like you're saying, the earlier in the game when this happens, the more important it is, the more of an impact it has.
He's kind of out there in the middle, though, so it's a bit surprising. He was already making 2 Overlords at the time, though, so...
Evolution Chamber going up. That third base timing, I think, is really smart in this map at these positions.
Well, no reason not to.
Has he seen the Stargate? Did he see with that Overlord?
That's a good question. We don't know.
We don't know, man.
We don't know.
It's a mystery.
It's out of our control, Wolf.
But if he did see the Stargate, it would be really smart for him to take that third base. That may be the case.
I don't think he did. He's still trying to run up the ramp quite a bit. He's being very aggressive about his scouting, so I don't think he knows. I think BBoongBBoong is a bit in the dark.
More gateways being added here by Oz. Probably add a 4th one. That probes indecisive music.
There it is. Yep. Void Ray. Interesting that he would send his Void Ray that direction, actually, instead of to where the 3rd would be. Most Protoss players would do that, but he could be trying to metagame it a little bit, being like, you expected me to send it to the 3rd, so I'm going to send it to the main.
Yeah, it looks like he's just Overlord hunting. Probably wants to do some of what we saw him do earlier, where he just targets down drones only. Something that is becoming more popular to do with Void Rays, because people found that, well, actually, you can kill a drone pretty fast with a Void Ray and then leave.
Yeah.
Might as well go for it. Why not?
Now, unlike most Zergs, BBoongBBoong has decided not to get these Spore Crawlers. He doesn't know for sure that it's Void Ray tech, but or Stargate tech. And he's gonna lift the queen.
Oh,
this is
now
a bit of an overcommitment. What is Oz doing? Oz, he's so crazy.
He waited, man. He was like, well, I'm just going to use the fewest amount of energy possible. He's not actually using it to help
Phoenix
out.
is asleep on the job.
Yeah, so that quite worked out the way it should have.
Yep. Well, a bit messy, but he did manage to kill 2 queens and keep things alive. He's going to be able to kill a couple overlords now as well. As we
nice
can
Micro,
see.
keeping the Void Ray away from the spores. He's going to force a cancel on this one.
Or is he?
This is about as close as it gets to, get that queen.
Oh. Whoa, Void Ray down to 1 hit away from dead, and the queen comes in and finishes it off.
This is actually one of those times where you lose a Void Ray and you kill some queens. This is the one time where it's like it's been worth it, barely to lose it, but it's like not quite worth it still because now he has a few queens he can't do a ton with. He's lost map control.
He's killed 4 queens, and so okay. So let's break it down. What's the advantage of killing queens? You have less creep spread and less lava, right? Now here's the thing, he's put so many resources into his Stargate tech that he can't really take advantage of that.
Yeah.
You know, he can't push out and take advantage of less larva. So
yeah, he's adding those gateways now, he's starting to blink. You know, he is still killing a lot of overlords here though, and that's true. Really cool play, but look at the supply, he's not even close to supply blocking. So he's lost a little bit of map control, and that the third base, taking a third base is basically impossible for him right now.
Well, with BBoongBBoong seeing all that too, he's like, well, I'm just going to keep making drones. I know what you're spending your money on, so
of course
I can just keep droning up. So that's why this type of thing doesn't really hurt Zerg all that much. You know, it's meant to force Hydras, that's true.
And he has succeeded in that. 4 Hydras are on the way.
That's right.
The scary thing though is this timing attack from Oz that might follow up could actually be deadly if BBoongBBoong gets a little bit too comfortable, if he drones a little bit too much. Blink is almost done. There's a probe to make the pylon right now, and this is actually a scary timing because those Hydras, they're going to have range, but they don't have +1.
There's going to be a lot of Hydras out though. Look at how many he's making. He's got 9 more on the way right now. He's still threatening with Zerglings. He's going to be able to flank and things like that. So BBoongBBoong is still looking pretty good, although the Phoenixes could, of course, you know, lift a lot of those Hydras. Although there may just be too many out right now. Oh yeah, this is a bad idea by Oz.
Yeah, this was not the best way to trade.
He's going to lose a good amount of Phoenixes.
I mean, he did kill a decent amount of Hydras, and the Phoenixes aren't going to be useful for much else, so I guess it was okay, but that was a bit sloppy the way that was done.
Yeah.
And now, as you can see, BBoongBBoong is already up about 20 supply. Will he have enough, though, to hold this to make 12 more Zerglings, making a few roaches? +1 is not done yet.
Yep.
And +1 for Oz as well.
Now, I mentioned earlier that a lot of Protoss players don't take advantage of the fact that, you know, of the benefits from killing the queens, and Oz actually is. That's great.
Yeah,
I love
see that he really understands what he's done.
Oh boy. A lot of units though for BBoongBBoong.
Not the best engagement for Oz here. He's actually trying to fight up a ramp where he does not have very much vision.
Yep.
He's barely having enough vision to fire and having to kind of pull back here. Those force fields cut the units off, but of course it doesn't really help when your opponent's units like Hydras have more range anyways. But he's going to kind of fight on the high ground in this case and have a pretty good position.
Pretty beefy force. He doesn't have a lot of energy yet on the sentries, so really good force fields, doing everything he can with them.
Great force fields, good blink stock micros. Opponent having a really nice cave here though. Looks like he's going to have enough to break through here, and BBoongBBoong could be in a little bit of trouble with his third base.
I think so. Oz just showing what a strong Protoss player he is. Honestly, this guy's really impressive.
Nice timing by Oz.
He's actually just going to win this game.
He is. He's going to start killing these drones. BBoongBBoong, even as 20 supply lead, just starting to fall behind here. He's lost all those units. He cannot really remake them.
Yeah. So this
is going to chase too.
This is why I really enjoy watching Oz lately, because he kind of addresses those problems that a lot of Protoss players have been having. You know, he's like, you're right. People don't move out and attack enough after killing all those queens. I'm going to do that and take advantage of it. And look at that.
And he was able to kill the queens too. A lot of players would kill one queen and lose a lot of Stargate units, or kill even less than that, like maybe a drone or two and an overlord, and be like, well, I did a lot, now I have a bunch of dead phoenixes flying around. I say dead, I mean they're dead to him because he can't really use them. At this point, Oz is actually going to turn around a little bit. It looks like he doesn't have to push the issue anymore. He started robotic support bay. He can make a third base. Then he's killed all the drones at that base. He's kept his opponent's army tiny.
And just back to harassing with the Phoenixes again. This is just so impressive.
He's got just a few Phoenixes out.
Yeah.
He can make use of every last graviton lift, man.
And it's, we should explain why it's impressive, too. It's impressive because he's not falling to all the common pitfalls that Protoss do in this situation. He's not overextending himself. He's doing just enough. He did get a little sloppy with his Phoenixes right there, but, he pulled back, took his own third. He's like, well, now I'm way ahead, so I'm just going to get more ahead.
Very true.
Sounds simple, but even at the highest level, we don't see a lot of Protoss players do it.
Yeah, and I like this because he's got the Observer out now. He's going to start picking away at that creep. Most likely, he's got a very mobile force. He knows his opponent's force is smaller, and BBoongBBoong from here looks like he's going to kind of do an all-in. I mean, it's not absolutely an all-in. He started at third base, but if he gets to a position where he's lost this fight, of course he's not going to retreat. The creep does not extend that far. Even with these Overlords able to spread creep, it's going to be good offensively, but he's not going to be able to really use that to retreat if the battle goes badly. So, BBoongBBoong is doing what he can here. He's got 28 more Zerglings in production. He's going to do a major, major attack. But I don't think it's going to work. I don't think this is going to be very successful at all.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult to get back in the game. I mean, look at that. He's down to just like 48 drones right now. He just doesn't have a lot. Looks like he's going to try to fake a bit of a drop here to distract Oz, sending those Overlords into the main. And, yep, faking the drop. Trying to get Oz to pull back, and he is pulling back, as you can see here. And will that allow BBoongBBoong to break into the third like he wants to? Does Oz know this is happening? He's got to see it barely, but he's not paying attention. Oh, I'm really surprised that BBoongBBoong actually is not going for the rocks. What in the world? Well, that was odd. All right, so I thought that BBoongBBoong was going to distract the army, move into the third, and kill it and get the high ground advantage. That would have been a great idea, but instead he actually just pulled back without really doing anything.
I think he got a little bit hesitant and nervous. He wasn't absolutely sure where Oz's army was. And that BBoongBBoong's still got a supply lead here, man. And he's got a very large army.
Yeah. He certainly does. Oz is also supply blocked right now as well.
But he does not have any disruptors. Now the Oz are actually in the back, so they're not actually able to participate here.
Yep. And the Overlords just kind of drawing some stalker fire, creeping things up a little bit. Nice concave for BBoongBBoong. But the army for Oz is so strong, it makes it very difficult to blink micro, too.
Yeah,
that's what BBoongBBoong is trying to do.
You can't see which stalkers are weakened. You can't actually select them very easily. But he's still doing it regardless.
Yeah, BBoongBBoong getting his units back relatively quickly, but Oz still coming out pretty far ahead in that engagement here.
The Colossi are really the heroes of the battle. There's no Corruptors to contest them. They were able to get 7. Look at that, 17 kills on that one Colossus. They're able to do so much extra damage to those units. I think he has better upgrades as well. He's got +2. I think he still has +1. He's about to have Overlord drops, but no army to drop.
Well, this is going to be good. He actually will have a decent amount of roaches to load into those Overlords, and by faking a drop initially, he may kind of give Oz the whole boy who cried wolf scenario. He's like, is this really the drop, or is this another fake? You make your opponent doubt himself. It's pretty cool.
I like going in the other room like, I thought you called me.
Whenever you exaggerate things, you're like the wolf who cries wolf. All right, here we go. This is a real drop. This is not a simulation.
Not a drill, man.
Yep. And those roaches are going to be able to do some damage. There's not a lot there to kill, really, but at the same time, BBoongBBoong is going to at least lose his third base.
Well, the problem for Oz is the units are so far away. There's creep in his base. Roaches are able to move around through there, but can he kill each and every last one of those drones to ensure that in a base race he won't? Nope, he cannot. They already escaped one.
Yeah, well, the thing is, too, is that, back at Oz's base, he didn't put really any of his tech in his main, too, so it doesn't really matter that he lost that Nexus because he's not even, mining from it, really.
And actually, because Oz is third base, he's trying to defend here with these probes and good micro. I don't think it's going to matter. Even if BBoongBBoong kills most of this, Oz can actually just turn around and done some damage. You can actually turn around right now with an army, kill the army of BBoongBBoong, and then win the game.
Yep, that's exactly right.
But he's not doing it, and these stalkers will die.
They are going to try to blink out. Some of them do, some of them, but the brave ones stay to fight to the last. And so we do have a bit of a base race, but Oz's army is much, much stronger. In fact,
he's just going to leave some.
Send the stalkers back.
Exactly. So that's all he needs. Unfortunately for BBoongBBoong, this did not go his way. His aggression kind of failed.
Yep.
Did not hold off Oz's really nice timing attack.
Well, it's 30 Stalkers to 20 Roaches and about 7 Hydras, so there's more Stalkers in that entire army. There goes the Lair, and there goes all the Overlords. Not really worth killing at this point, but it looks like Oz should be able to take this game.
There's only 4 drones left, and the hatchery has been remade by the looks of it down at the bottom right, but there's a Protoss unit there to spot for it, so he can actually, he's seen that. He knows what's going on, and we're just gonna have a micro battle here that Oz will eventually win. He's trying to fight up a ramp here though, which is not the best ideal situation.
It does make things a little bit more difficult, but you know, look at now, he's bringing his entire army back, and when he does, he can actually just roll in and finish the job.
That's exactly what he's going to do here.
Yeah. Once BBoongBBoong loses his army, that's going to be the end of the game. Oz's Blink Micro is more than good enough to handle a fight like this, and that is it. GG. FXO Oz goes up 2-0. Group D, as you can see, BBoongBBoong Prime falling to 0-2 actually. Yeah. And that does it for the first half of the game for today. And it's kind of like what we were predicting. We're like, all right, Oz is going to kind of come out on top, and then we're not sure who's going to be after that. And there it is right there, 2-0 for Oz, 1-1 for everybody else, aside from BBoongBBoong, who's down the bottom with 0-2.
And I want to talk a little bit about that game for a second.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Chat about it. It's all we're just going to kind of repeat what we already said.
All right.
Oz is a Stargate player, which a lot of Process are kind of doing wrong right now, I feel, or they haven't figured it out yet. And Oz actually kind of, he did it. He did the right amount of damage. He made 5 Phoenixes, picked up the Queens, and he systematically killed them all. And I feel like Coca did not respond appropriately to what he had seen, but at the same time, or excuse me, BBoongBBoong. And then Oz, like you said, he did something that most Process do not. He followed up with a timing attack. Yeah. It was at the right time. He, like, before he even killed the Queens, he was powering up the gateways to get ready to do this because he knew that he was going to have a timing here, and he went for it. It was very risky. It was almost all in, really, what he did, but it worked.
You're not gonna like this maybe, but it reminded me of MC.
Yeah,
a little bit. It was very MC-ish.
You could say that, yeah.
Type all in, but it's good in those situations. It's not good if you do it every game.
Yeah,
but it's good
it worked,
if you do it in the right situation.
When he went home after he killed that third base and all the drones.
Exactly, that's a big difference. Yeah.
All right, well, I think we're gonna take a 5 or 10 minute break here.
I think so too.
And we'll see you guys just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Maybe if you want to go grab a soda or something, get some pizza out of the refrigerator, reheat that.
Yeah, or get some fresh pizza. You know, those little like party pizzas that you get back in the U.S. in like little boxes. I love those. They're so unhealthy, but they're so good. You've got enough time to cook one of those, I think.
You do actually. Go for it, man.
Go for it.
That's what you guys want to do?
Yep. Follow GOMTV on Twitter. Follow at ProxyWolf at GoSudo as well in your free time. In the meantime, come back in 5 minutes for more GSL Team Ace Invitational action. Don't go anywhere.